We are seated at the console of the organ, and we're going to look at some of the controls that allow the organist to manipulate all the different sounds and control all the different features of our instrument. So, as we have gone through each of the 4 sections of the organ, we've seen all the pipes within those sections, and so those sections correspond to the layout of the console. We have 3 keyboards plus the pedal board, and those represent the 4 divisions. This is the swell division, which is located on the far back corner on the right side. And then we have the great division, which is on the front side, the front of the left side. The bottom keyboard is the choir division. That's on the back, or the rear of the left side. And then the pedal division is right behind me here on the right side. And then that layout is represented with the collections of all the different sounds. So we have pedal here, we have all the swell stops here, we have all the great stops, and all of the choir stops. And those allow the organist to select which sounds or which groups of pipes are being used. And then there are a few other functions. We see these little rocking tablets here, and those are couplers, which allow a sound from one keyboard, let's say the swell, can be coupled or moved to another keyboard. So if I take a flute on the swell manual, it does not play on the great keyboard, but if I use the coupler for that keyboard, and you can do that in different octaves. And you can mix and match, and that gives the organist much more flexibility on grouping and massing different colors and sounds together. We also have some of those same couplers available as draw knobs within the stops themselves. We also have some other controls that allow the organist to manipulate the sounds within a division. We can impart a little bit of a vibrato to the pipes, a little bit of kind of a waviness or an undulation to the tone. So if we're in the pedal division, and we add the tremulant, and similar controls are available in the other portions of the instrument. We also have what are called pistons, thumb pistons available here, and then also toe pistons, these buttons down below. On the left side, you see 1 through 6 and 7 through 12. Those are the general combination pistons, and you can set up any assortment of stops and any collection of the additional controls like the couplers, and save it as a preset on those buttons, and then you can recall those settings instantly. And these general settings are available duplicated with these corresponding toe pistons down below. The pistons that are in the middle of the keyboards, 1 through 8, are divisional pistons, and those only control stops within their respective division. So for this swell manual, these buttons will only control the stops that are within the swell portion of the console. We also have a similar thing for the pedal division down here. They're available only with the feet. And then some of the couplers are also available. Those couplers also allow you to take sounds that you play with the hands and play them with the feet. So for instance, that's just for the great keyboard, nothing in the pedal. But if we use the coupler, we get this. While we were traveling through the inside of the instrument, you noticed that 2 portions of the organ were enclosed in rooms or swell boxes, and that would be the swell division and the choir division. And that allows the organist to control the volume of those pipes. And that control is done using these expression pedals right here. And you'll notice the corresponding labels. So if we take some stops from the choir division, So that's one way to control sound. The other way is simply by adding or subtracting the number of stops that you are using. One of the other important buttons that is very frequently used is the cancel piston. And if you have other stops drawn and other switches engaged, it's a quick and easy way to turn all of those off. So sometimes if you hear a big thump in the middle of the service after a piece of music has finished, that might be me pressing this button. And that's always a good thing to do if you're playing the organ in church, just to make sure you don't inadvertently have something pulled on and hit it with your feet while you're sitting here. And speaking of feet, the organist often will wear different shoes than their normal daily, kind of street shoes. We have organ shoes that we use, and there's really nothing too special about them other than the fact that they are leather on the bottom. Some of them are suede, but the point is that they are not rubber, and that allows them to slide a little more easily across the pedals. Sometimes you'll see different shapes or narrower shapes with the heel, which allow you to play the pedals more easily without hitting extra notes. So if you ever see me on Sunday morning up here after the service changing shoes, that's what I'm doing.